Very much indeed, Peter. Let me go to Mattie McGrath. Mattie, hi, how are you?
I'm good, Niall, and thanks for having me on your show.
You're so welcome, Mattie. Mattie, I was talking earlier on there to Patrick Tobin, and I mentioned, I believe, this is just my personal opinion, politics is broken in Ireland. There's this kind of assumption all the time that it's going to be Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, even when it comes to, debates on television, etc., etc. It's like they're the incumbent, they're the default. It's just assumed they will get elected every single time. How do we change that? How do people get real change, Mattie?
That's a big question, and I hope Friday will be like today. It's a beautiful day in the sunny southeast here. Politics is badly broken, and where I differ with Patrick is he's formed a party. I set up Independent Ireland as a group, as you know, not without being a party, but the powers that be decided to make it a party. Now I see him lobbying to get into power with whoever. If we don't have a complete change, the party whip system has destroyed our country, has destroyed life for our people, which is the most important thing about Nadine and the Nairn. They're the people, young and old. I mean, the marginalised and the people who are homeless in our own streets. And we seem to have a welcome for anybody from Timbuktu or wherever else, but not our own. So the party system, when you're an independent, you represent the people. When you're a party candidate, you represent the party. And I saw where a candidate was forced to resign from Independent Ireland only a couple of days ago. This is the party whip in action. It shouldn't be happening. Yeah. I have the marks of the party whip on my back since I was a member of Fianna Fáil from 72 or 3 to 2011. So I have the freedom to represent the people, their views of the Tipperary people and people all over the country, unhindered and unfettered, with a strong voice. And I believe that's what's needed. The party control.
Okay.
Grip has to be broken. And the grip of the senior civil servants on the handlebars of power, that must be broken also.
Okay, in your part of the country, of course, in rural Ireland as well, according to the polls in the Irish Times, a lot of people are talking about climate policy when it comes to agriculture. When I was out campaigning for the European election, nobody mentioned climate change to me whatsoever, or climate policy. And that's why we see that the Greens seem to be losing popularity. But are you hearing that? And how badly is agriculture being damaged by climate policy?
Agriculture being damaged by the people who created this climate emergency. I stood up in the door that day in the convention centre and opposed it and called a vote against it. We only got 11 votes. Every party and none, and independents and all parties of the left went on this mad road of climate emergency. It's a fallacy. It's based on untruths. I hate using the word lies. That's what it is. The science is being contaminated. It's been the media, the national media, especially RTE. I thank your show and others who will question it. We brought in an eminent scientist. The name eludes me. He died since. Who was top man in NASA, top man in our own weather station here, going back, and was a very well respected and peer-reviewed scientist. Him and a couple of his friends came in to talk to the rural independents in the town. They had to come in undercover, not to be seen by the media because they've been pilloried and vilified. This gentleman, God rest him, spoke on RT once. He was told he'll never be in that show again. It's the control of our people. Climate change. I'm not climate change.
Well, Sinn Féin have said, by the way, they want RTE examined for their objectivity. They mentioned this last night, by the way. That was one of the stranger parts of the manifesto.
It's a pity when we had the RT media committee I sat on, when Sinn Féin didn't ask the hard questions, when Sinn Féin pussyfooted around and allowed the government hand RT 725 million last July, $750 million. I mean, I expected to give them 100,000 to keep them afloat. When there's no answers, no accountability, when the top dogs went off with massive payouts and refused to come before committees to account for their wrongdoings. Massive law breaking has been going on in RTE for decades, with the acquiescence of the ministers. The Social Welfare Consolidation Act has been broken by bogus self-employed. I'm not blaming the employees. They've been forced to do that. And it's massive. They had 15 million put away in a fund to settle with revenue.
That's right. I've heard that story. There are some ongoing cases there at the moment going to the High Court.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No other company in the country could put away 10,000 to settle revenue. If revenue hit you with a bill with interest and penalties, they demanded with menaces and sent out the sheriff. RT have this cosy arrangement, and why wouldn't they then have the show we had last night with the two main party leaders, trying to beat up, in the middle, pardon the pun. But I mean, look, the system is badly broken. Sean Lemass was a visionary, and he got house building going. He got electrification going. We can't do anything now. It's costing 10 times what it should cost, and the corruption that's there is unbelievable. It's
okay, Mattie, just finally, in your own locality, what are the things people are saying to you, when you're meeting people on the street or whatever it is, when you're canvassing? What are they saying to you?
Couple of things. I meet houses with elderly parents crying because their youngsters have immigrated. The grandchildren been born in Australia and Canada, God knows what. Secondly, then I meet younger people than that have the adult children back home with them, can't afford a house. The health system is badly broken. When I got into the door in 2007, the health budget was $6.5 billion. Now it's $26.5 billion. Now, with some very good outcomes, but the chronic mismanagement of mental health and the CAMS service and all those, so badly broken. Careers have been made out of it. Lots of money been made out of it by individuals, but we can't get the services.
It's just been badly run. Just badly run. It's not about the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here in Tipperary, you start in Rosscray, the Rocket Hall Hotel, come down into Drum House Hotel, famous building, landmark building, Helms Hotel in Clonmel, where Charles Bianconeri set up the first services up by horse back 200 years ago. And now we have another hotel, Kilcoan Lodge Hotel, being offered for iPads. And the government are spending billions in this for people here. Some of them are needed to be looked after, but the vast majority are just milking the system. And the government are looking after everybody except the Irish.
So would you agree then, in relation to what Paddy was saying earlier on as well, that those who shouldn't be here, i.e. those who are economic migrants and not actually asylum seekers, should they be deported?
Listen, I knocked them in the door that Tuesday night in Bancha. He and his wife returned from Australia after visiting their sons into Dublin Airport that Sunday week. And the only two people that had passports or short passports or asked for passports was him and his wife. Everybody else off the plane walked straight to it. No, there's no controls in the borders on the airports. It's a myth.
Yeah, but should they all be deported, Mattie? Should they be deported?
Of course they should be deported. They shouldn't be here. I mean, we need controls in our department.
Well, they're not being deported at the moment. They're being handed, voluntary deportation orders.
We've had the worst Minister for Justice in the history of the state. We have a commissioner that has no respect for the Gardaí, and they don't respect him obviously afterwards. The Gardaí are not being supported. They've been leaving the job in fourfold. At the moment, it's what's coming in. And people are testing good guys coming out there. They're kind of 7 weeks off the job because it's a SHIT show. It's terrible. They're not getting the support from the government or McIntyre.
Okay.
He wants to walk down through Dublin, Frank Bertina Gardaí saying it's a safe place, when all of us are afraid to walk up and down the main streets of Dublin and our towns as well.
All right, well, look, I have to say good luck to you, Mattie, on Friday, and good luck to everybody.
Yes, well done to your show, because you're not afraid to ask the questions and allow people with a contrarian view on what the media is controlled.
Thank you very much indeed, Mattie McGrath. And thank you, Mattie McGrath.